I wish to invite Kim Voogt, who is a food and security expert, the Embassy of the Kingdom of Netherlands, to give us his talk. Kim, if you can hear me, karibu sana. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Professor Julius Ho, and I'm very happy to be here today. And we've heard already a lot about the state of food security in Kenya. What am I to tell you about that? I would like to focus more on what our contribution is as the Netherlands to enhancing food security in Kenya. Now, you've already heard our ambassador today, who has already highlighted some of our approaches that we use within the embassy. But we as a team, we work not only on food security, but we also work on water. And actually, already mentioned before, more specific, we work on food security and the water nexus to enhance climate resilience. I think we are a good partner for that, in the sense that the agricultural sector in the Netherlands is very well developed. Also, our import and export seems to be quite high. And at the same time, we have always been known for a great partner when it comes to water management. We have our own issues when it comes to dealing with water, mainly the fact that we are below sea level. But we have gained a lot of experience over the years and have been working with a lot of the countries to share that experience and see how it can be localized. So I think this team that we have created to work on water, food, and also at times on energy is very well suited here in Kenya as well. Enhancing climate resilience, I mean, this means that we are looking at crops that grow in the coming years, livestock that will survive in the coming years, knowing the changes that we are going to be facing. Now, the Netherlands originally has a long track record of working in high potential and semi-arid areas, both with the Dutch private sector through our agricultural ministry that is also present here in Kenya, and with development partners through foreign affairs. And both of us, we have been working very closely in the horticulture sector, aquaculture and dairy sectors, mainly because that's where we see our Dutch expertise being used. But at the moment, we are also exploring opportunities for private sector development in the Assal, where there's a high potential for development, we believe. However, this is a little bit more difficult, and this requires us to look at the whole food systems and use integrated approaches to deal with the complex reality that is on the ground there. The Netherlands has originally always focused a lot on issues around market access, food safety, and food loss and waste through a value chain approach. With projects like Crafts to Scale, Game, but also on 1 Acre Funds, for example, we have been working on from various sides to ensure that there is, for example, market access for smallholder farmers, but also that the SMEs working in the value chain are growing and can absorb more smallholder farmers with fixed contracts. Food safety has been high on the agenda, and we will be working a lot more on that in the future. Now, today, I would like to focus on 3 aspects that need to be taken into account when we're building resilient food systems. And these are climate resilience, COVID, and inclusion. Now, just 2 weeks ago, we were visiting Laikipia, Isiolo, and Samburu to monitor the progress of one of our projects, working with the county governments on the food security water nexus to enhance climate resilience. And what does that nexus exactly entail? And what do we mean with that? Now, the complex nature of these counties, combined with more frequent droughts, which was announced during our field visit while we were there, requires an integrated approach that looks at climate-smart interventions that are viable in 10, 20 years when we know the temperature will rise, we will face more erratic rainfall, and potentially more droughts. Although we are just at the beginning stage of working on climate resilience and the nexus approach, we are able to bring many partners, including county government, public, private, and sectors together to identify with us the challenges and the opportunities of addressing sustainable food and water security. Now, COVID has shown us the importance of building resilience in food systems that can withstand any kind of shock, whether it's related to the weather, whether it's related to the economy or a pandemic, which no one foresaw coming. But most importantly, also resilience towards multiple shocks at the same time, because they don't come isolated and they lead to each other. What we have seen in this pandemic has an effect on the economy. And while immediate interventions to cover food security in the short term are extremely important to save lives, we as the Netherlands see our strength in long-term approaches, addressing structural challenges in the agricultural and the water sector. The complex challenges we face today, they require an integrated approach, like the food security water climate nexus, to make a long-lasting impact and ensure resilience towards climate, but also for communities. Now, COVID is no different from that and has highlighted the need for improving hygienic measures along the value chain, but also nutrition to ensure that we have healthy citizens in Kenya that can absorb challenges like COVID. Now, we are happy to be supporting partners like the Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition in their COVID response program to keep markets working, but also to ensure safe markets in the long run. But I'll not have to tell you much about that, because you will hear much more from GAIN themselves during the Mashariki Cafe today and about their intervention. Now, many of our partners have helped put hygienic measures in place in markets or in the areas they work in, through both short and long-term measures, in order to limit the spread of COVID and keep people safe. Most importantly is that COVID has highlighted some of the long structural issues in the agricultural sector that need to be addressed, and through a food systems approach. Now, some of these issues have actually been with us for a long time, but still not sufficiently addressed. And one of those is the adequate and effective inclusion of women, youth, people with disability, smallholder farmers, pastoralists, and also SMEs in the agricultural value chain. They make up a large part of the economy and should not be left behind. As already mentioned, very passionate in the previous speech. Now, the Netherlands has therefore launched an inclusive trade scan last week, and it's a tool to use to assess the inclusivity of either your individual business, your project, the value chain you're operating in, or in general, the trade environment you're operating in. And this is needed because we need to build a resilient food system. And in order to do that, we need the inputs and the support of all. And this means that we need to go beyond including marginalized groups in trainings and in programs, but we need to ensure that the conditions are right for everyone to benefit and grow from a growing and efficient agricultural sector. So I hope our contributions will have a lasting impact in Kenya. And I thank you for this opportunity to tell a little bit more about what the Netherlands is doing in Kenya. Looking forward to the debate. Thank you very much.